Hello, everybody. Virgo here. I'm going to give it a few minutes. Hi, DJen. I'm going to give it just a few minutes here to let some more people actually get in here so that I can go over this public service announcement. I think it's getting to the point where people have to start speaking out on some things that are occurring that are going to impact people everywhere across this nation. So, how are you, DJen? Besides early? I'm going to be on mute for just a couple of minutes here until hopefully the notification goes out and a few more people are able to join us. Oh, hi, Ed. Okay. So a few more people are going to join us, hopefully. There you are. Hello, everyone. Hi, Miss Funny Feet. Hi, Sunny. Hi, Mark. Hi, Email. Hi, Sean. Okay, good. Infidel. All right, give me about 30 seconds, you guys, and I will be right back with you. Hey, Denise. Hey, Goober. Hi, Teresa. Thanks, you guys, so much. I'm sorry to interrupt you on a Sunday afternoon like this, but I feel it's important that I make a few statements here and show you guys a couple of things that hopefully you'll be able to take this video in its when it's uploaded as a rewatch or whatever you want to call it, and forward this on to friends and family on your social networks. It's important that you do. There are some things that are going on that people really need to think twice before they're doing them. And there's a lot, I mean, a lot of disinformation that's going on that, quite frankly, are just things that are dangerous above and beyond like the medical cures and so on and so forth. There's other stuff that's going on now, in which I'm going to show you that will blow your mind. And I'm going to debunk that while we're on this live stream. Hello, Steve. Hi, Goober. Zide, how are you? Bobby, hey. Bobby, Bob. Sniper Fox, Lady Peeps. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Again, I apologize for interrupting your weekend, but this is really important. Okay, so one of the things that has occurred. Hi, Tom. One of the things that has occurred is this morning, rather early. Uh, there was a notification that showed up. I am not even actually subscribed to this individual, so I don't know why it showed up. But you guys will find this very interesting. This is a group that we have done some research on in the past. And I'm going to actually share the screen now and show you guys what it is that I'm referring to here and why I'm going about debunking this on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully, you guys can see this. So there is on the, I call them the Candyland Moors, but in reality, they're called Cannonland Moors. And they have a video that was put up this morning. And they are, of course, making claims that this crisis that we're currently in, of this illness, is some form of depopulation plan being perpetuated through the 5G toxic waves, and that there's going to be these illness vaccination injections that'll be forced on everyone. And during that whole time frame, nobody's going to be told, and it's some form of UN agenda and all this stuff that is just a bunch of hogwash that's actually backed by no scientific evidence, no documentation, no nothing. All right, but what is even more frustrating than that is they actually go on to attempt in a very poor, non-scientific manner to try to tell people that this actual illness, and I'm not using certain words on purpose because I really need this video to stay up. This specific illness is something that cannot be caught in the manner that we know that these things are caught. So, only by injection, according to them, do these people actually who get sick end up getting sick. So, in other words, it has to be some kind of terrible conspiracy in terms of the reason why people are supposedly catching this illness. So, I am about to play you a short video on what these actual illnesses are all about and how you go about getting them and how this specific illness actually scientifically works. Okay. It's important that people know this. So please, when we're done with this live stream, I'm relying on you guys to share this video because we do not want this disinformation getting out of there. This is done on purpose by individuals who are they just don't care about actual facts. They don't care about actual science. They don't care who they're hurting in the process. The point is to bring as much upset and fear as possible to the population under the guise of the fact that supposedly they're going to be able to fix everything, just give them all your money type of stuff. Now, I haven't done a lot of investigating into this specific group in terms of what they are taking in from a donation standpoint, but I'll tell you what, if you go over and watch this video, which will be linked in the description here as what I'm debunking, you're actually going to see how damaging this really would be if somebody was watching it and took it seriously. All right, so I'm going to be sharing with you this video right now that we can take a look at as a group. And so I won't be speaking through it. I'm going to go on mute and I'm just going to turn on the actual video for you. And I know that this is something that maybe some of you, logical thinkers, have a lot of cognitive skills up there, may not feel that you need, but please stay because there's more to this that is important for you guys to see. And again, not everyone has the cognitive thinking skills that you guys do. So this is important just on a human level, okay? All right, hang on one second here. I'll get you switched over to the video with audio this time. And here we go. I need to turn off my microphone, excuse me. There we go. No. Okay, here we go.
Stated Clearly is funded by our viewers on patreon.com/Stated Clearly. Stated Clearly presents Where do new viruses come from? If you've been watching the news, you've probably heard of the novel or new coronavirus, which, starting in late 2019, began making people ill in China. International air travel has since allowed it to spread person to person to new countries, as governments began to issue travel restrictions and even quarantines. Speculations about the origin of the virus began to spread online. Some claim that the virus might be a genetically modified weapon, but extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. This claim currently seems highly unlikely. Others suggest that the virus may be an escaped lab specimen. Now, this actually is possible. Viruses have escaped from research labs in the past, but as of the time that I'm recording this voiceover, investigations into this idea have not yet reached any solid conclusions. Could there be another, more natural explanation for the origin of this virus? The answer is yes. COVID-19, the new human-infecting coronavirus, may have simply evolved from an older animal-infecting coronavirus. To understand how this may have happened, let's first take a look at viruses in general. What are viruses? Of the many things that can make you sick by infecting and reproducing inside you, viruses are among the smallest. If we resize this drawing to a more realistic scale, you see that hundreds of viruses can fit inside a single bacterial cell. That's how tiny they are. Thousands of different viral species have been studied and described by scientists so far. Millions more likely exist. They come in many forms, but all species consist of a small collection of genes, stretches of either DNA or RNA that carry information for making more copies of the virus, and those genes are enclosed in a protective coating of protein and sometimes a lipid membrane. All known viruses are parasitic, but most are not parasitic to humans. Instead, some only target plant cells, others only infect bacteria, and so on. A virus reproduces by getting its genes into a living cell. Different viruses do this in different ways, but once inside, the cell acts as if the viral genes are its own genes. It begins reading them and building copies of the virus instead of performing its normal tasks. Coronaviruses are a huge family of virus species that infect animal cells. Some infect chickens, others infect pigs, some infect humans, but most of them are extremely mild. They simply give you the common cold. Corona means crown and refers to the unusually large crown-like spikes sticking out of their membranes. These protein spikes are selectively sticky, sort of like Velcro. They don't attach to most objects but are extremely sticky when they bump into specific molecules found on the outsides of animal cells. Once held firmly in place, the coronavirus waits until swallowed by the cell. It then begins to reproduce at the cell's expense. Different animal species have different types of molecules on the outsides of their cells. Because of this, bird-infecting coronaviruses usually can't infect humans. Their Velcro doesn't hold strong enough to our cells. Unfortunately, the natural process of evolution can sometimes help a virus overcome this problem. When virus genes are being copied during reproduction, mutations can occur. These are either due to simple copying errors or processes called reassortment and recombination. These happen when two or more viruses infect a single cell. In most cases, mutations that change the shape of viral spikes render the virus useless. Their Velcro no longer sticks to any host cells. On rare occasions, however, a chance mutation will just happen to allow a virus to attach to a new host species. If the modified virus is then lucky enough to encounter that new host species, infection can occur. We call this a spillover infection. The virus has spilled over into a new type of host. Early on, during a spillover event, the virus usually isn't very good at infecting its new host. Its Velcro is not a perfect match, and many other challenges might slow the virus down. Oftentimes, the mutations that let it infect the new host also make it worse at infecting its original host. Because of this, many spillover viruses go extinct after infecting just one or two people. They're usually dead ends. That said, if the virus can survive and reproduce just long enough, natural selection will promote any new mutations that help it better spread and reproduce in the new host population. Positive mutations accumulate over multiple generations, negative mutations are discarded until, bam, a new epidemic is being screamed about on the news. Though it may seem to us that these new viruses just sort of pop into existence overnight, scientists now know there is a long, slow burn before each explosion. Genetic evidence tells us that slowly evolving spillovers have been the cause of almost every major outbreak known in history. In the early 2000s, a coronavirus that used to only infect bats appears to have spilled over into civets. There, it mutated even further and spilled over into humans. We called it the SARS virus because it causes severe acute respiratory syndrome. It spread internationally from person to person, and several scientists were infected in the lab. By the time the virus was contained, over 8,000 people had been infected, over 700 died. A coronavirus from camels also recently spilled over to humans, causing even more deaths. Coronaviruses are not the only types of animal viruses that can adapt to new hosts. HIV spilled over from chimps, most likely when someone cut themselves while preparing chimp meat for dinner. The swine flu came partly from pigs, but we think it actually evolved through a recombination with a pig virus and a bird virus. The 1918 Spanish flu, the big one that devastated populations all around the world, may have spilled over from chickens. While the evidence is not yet conclusive, the new coronavirus might just be one more example of normal evolution. A very similar virus has been found in bats, and another was recently discovered in pangolins. These animals are endangered, they're protected, but they're often used illegally for food, rituals, and alternative medicine in the region where COVID-19 first broke out. Now, there are serious people checking to make sure that the virus did not come from a lab, either by accident or on purpose. After all, the technology to genetically modify viruses really does exist, but it's important to understand that the normal process of descent with modification, acted upon by natural selection, really does produce new viruses. It happens naturally. The chance of a virus evolving to successfully infect a new species is extremely low, but there are over 7.5 billion people on this planet. Most of us interact with animals on a daily basis. We keep them as pets, we eat them as food. This means that, as unlikely as spillover infections might be, there are billions of opportunities for one to take hold every single day. Add this to the fact that the entire world is now connected through international flights, and you realize that what happens in Vegas doesn't actually stay in Vegas, at least not the way that it used to. Luckily, we have international groups like the World Health Organization and various centers for disease control to help contain outbreaks when they happen. With international cooperation, we have prevented many catastrophes in the past, and we will prevent many more in the future, so long as our species continues to work together. So, in summary, where do new viruses come from? In most cases, new viruses evolve from old viruses. Stopping the spread of new viruses requires international cooperation. For up-to-date, accurate information on the risks, visit the World Health Organization website at who.int.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop that here because that is basically what I wanted to show. All right, so important that is something that you guys understand, and that when you share out this video, others understand, because for those people that are running across crazy statements like what are being made on the Candyland Moors channel right now, they are going to be very fearful of something that is just, quite frankly, not even realistic and certainly has no foundation in factual evidence. All right, so we all have to work together, right, guys? We know that. We're all in this together. There's no escaping what's going on right now. No matter how minor it may turn out to be or how major it may turn out to be, it's something we have to deal with. And that means that we have to battle our most basic fundamental instinct. And that is things like hoarding and things like just selfishness. When people get fearful, they stop thinking on logical terms. They stop thinking in ways that would ordinarily bring a group together. In the worst of times, quite frequently, before you are able to settle with and realize that the only thing you're actually in control of is how you handle things yourself, you run the risk of turning into someone that you really wouldn't want to associate with. And that's happening to many people. I'm going to share this screen with you because I want you to see and share with other people's share with other people just the reasoning behind why good people can turn into absolute vultures when it comes to things like running grocery stores out of flour and toilet paper and hand sanitizer, and grabbing everything they can, fighting and battling off other people, screaming and yelling at each other. and how damaging that actually is at the end of the day for people who truly are sick, people who are elderly, people who may not be able to run as fast to the store. And this is something that I think everybody needs to recognize what we really need to be doing for safety's sake and what we really are doing in terms of people going out there and grabbing things, panic shopping, and then hoarding, and how much that could cause people that genuinely you would normally care about, like your neighbors and your family, you know, you're actually doing harm to them for really no reason. For really no reason, because we're not at a point in any way, shape, or form right now that we really need to be doing any kind of panic buying, and it's causing all kinds of problems out there. This is a time that we need to come together and show how our humanity separates us from the rhinos in terms of the actual animal rhinos. That wasn't a dig at Republicans, okay? And the snakes. We have the capacity to process things in a way that allows us to be empathetic to others, and we need to show that right now. This is an important time for us to come together as a group of humans and act that way. All right, I'm going to share this with you. This is very short, but it also will help others to understand what's going on. All right, this is why are people panic buying? This is part of Bloomberg.com in terms of just stuff that they put out. I don't necessarily follow them all the time, but in this case, this is a good source to have for this specific subject. Here we go.
People right now are facing this uncertainty on a global scale, and they're not sure what they can do to control their world around them. In this case, the way I compensate for feeling like I have no ability to control this outbreak, what I can control is how prepared I am for it. This resource scarcity is exacerbated nowadays when we look at social media. Countries who said they were not going to engage in panic buying, fine, that was before COVID-19 was in their city. So you're observing people hoarding these products on the other side of the planet, and it just makes you feel like it's going to be a scarce resource, and then people start responding this way. I don't think many people look back and actually realize that by engaging in these behaviors, they're limiting access to these supplies for individuals who actually are sick. And that's especially going to be true once this virus starts hitting poorer countries. When resources are scarce, that selfishness just comes out and it's unavoidable. People don't trust their governments to handle this health emergency. I think right now people are afraid that they're not getting full information. And in some cases, I think people are afraid that they're getting misled. I think that's what governments should be focused on in their messaging, rebuilding that sense of trust, which can only come from creating confidence among the population that people are getting full access to information.
And I agree 100%. Part of the problem here is the lack of trust in our own governments. And let's face it, we have reason not to trust. But it is absolutely being, it's being pushed to the hilt with the way things are actually being handled on a lot of the mainstream media channels. And then there are other channels on mainstream media who are downplaying the necessity for people who truly have a reason to be very concerned due to the fact that they have underlying health issues or are of an advanced age. They're downplaying it so extremely poorly that those people are not even paying close enough attention to what potentially could be a problem. We need to be rational and logical but sensibly aware, if that makes sense. We don't need to be panic buying. We just need to make sure that we have a couple of weeks worth of normal supplies for ourselves and our pets. If, like what happened, my spouse goes to the grocery store and walks down the aisle where you would get NyQuil and Theraflu, for example, and it is freaking wiped out. There's nothing there. So you have a 65 or 70-year-old person that needs something to reduce fever, and they can't buy it. They can't buy it because 25,000 20-year-olds have run through the store and dumped it all in their cart to turn around and sell it on their Amazon accounts. So this is just wrong, and I can't let it go without speaking out. I know for a fact, some of the most intelligent, logical thinking individuals on the Virgo Triad channel. And I am begging you to please forward this video and this message to everyone that you can find. So number one, they don't fall for the lies and the scam when they are researching. I promise you, if we don't know, if you guys and myself don't know, with as much as we are like sponges when it comes to information, there is not one single individual that is across the YouTube platform that knows anything that is any different, that's some secret, weird, special cure or some secret, weird, special agenda. It's all nonsense. It's all to further an agenda that's not backed by any kind of actual foundation of truth at all. So in order to avoid people falling into those types of scams and getting more scared, or worse, taking something that could do damage to their bodies, this video is important. In order to avoid people from being terrified of something that's not happening, or thinking that they have to panic and run out and buy everything they can find, this video is important to share. And for those people who have already panicked and gone out and bought up stuff, maybe this will make them think twice as to why they reacted that way and recognize you've got to calm down and bring it to a normal and rational level, because not everybody who has done that is a bad person. They just reacted with their, we'll call it the more reptilian part of their brain, which is, selfishness. It's all about me. It doesn't matter what happens to my neighbor. So that is my message. Now, one more thing I want to mention to you guys are some things that actually are things you need to have, not stockpiled, but just at hand. Make sure you have a little bit of each one of these things. I also want to talk to you about limiting the spread of germs and prevent infection in the event that you are feeling poorly. Okay, so rapidly, I'm going to go through these because we've gone through them before, and you can find these in a number of different places, including the Red Cross, which is at redcross.org, or on the CDC website. So the recommendations are the following for everybody, whether you're high at risk or not. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after being in a public place or after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. If soap and water is not available readily, then use hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol in it. Or, as I told you before, you can go down to the beauty stores and you can pick up a bottle or a package of wipes of Barbicide. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick, obviously. Put distance between yourself and other people. Stay home if you are sick, except for to get medical attention, and make sure that you contact your doctor's office or the hospital first. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue. When coughing or sneezing, throw all of your used tissues in the trash. If a tissue isn't available, cough or sneeze into your elbow or sleeve, not into your hands. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces daily with something like Lysol or white vinegar or Clorox works. This includes all your tables, your doorknobs, your light switches, your handles, your desks, your computers, your phones, your keyboards, your sinks, toilets, countertops, and don't forget the inside of your vehicles and your door handles on your vehicles. If your surfaces are dirty, make sure they're clean. Use deodorant, or excuse me, not you could use deodorant, but it won't do anything for you. Use detergent or soap and water prior to disinfection. It used to just blow my mind. I would watch people put in dirty dishes into a dishwasher and then claim, oh, it's okay because the dishwasher sanitizes them. Well, it doesn't matter if they're sanitized if the dishes are dirty, but whatever. Wear a face mask if you are sick. You should wear a face mask when you are around other people. Face masks are not going to do anything for you if you're well. Use them if you're sick. And please stop buying them out of the stores in packages of 200 and then turning around and selling them. If that's what you're doing, that is really wrong. I mean, to get 8 face masks off of eBay or Amazon, it's running in the $100. 8. Now, to get your household ready, there are things you can do in order to get it ready for any emergency in case there happens to be something that evolves in your area that puts you in a situation where you are having to stay home. Have a supply of food and staples and household supplies like laundry detergent, bathroom items, and diapers if you have children. But we're talking about a small supply here. Like the maximum would be a 30-day supply. You do not need 450 rolls of toilet paper for 30 days, folks. Check to make sure that you have at least 30 days supply of your prescription medications, and check to make sure that you have a 30-day supply of pet food and their prescriptions just in case. Make sure that you have some pain relievers like aspirin, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, some stomach remedies. Papaya pills are great if you get nauseated easily. Cough and cold medicines, if you can find them, because right now they're pretty much sold out everywhere that I've found, but hopefully they will be restocking them soon. And a big deal here is making sure that you have fluids with actual electrolytes in them and vitamins. So Gatorade. If you have small children, Pedialyte. Pedialyte is also usable on pets in case you were to ever need them. So for example, if you get Pedialyte and your kid doesn't need Pedialyte, then you've got it if your dog needs it later on, because that's a good thing for them too. Know how your local public health agency will share information in your community. Most communities are using some form of their public health websites or of the CDC. Learn how your children's school or daycare and your workplace will handle a possible outbreak. Create a plan in the event of any closings. All right. If you care for an older adult, plan and prepare for caring for them also, meaning making sure they have at least 30 days worth of their prescriptions filled, and so on. Make sure that you help your family members and neighbors to get prepared. Also, one of the main things is to share this kind of information so that those people feel some form of control over their lives also. If you're of higher risk, please ask someone you trust to assist you with these things. It's better if you stay home and they go out and get them if you're in the higher risk category, which is people over the age of 60 and people with compromised immune systems like myself. I have a compromised immune system. Also, Vitamin C is great, as Degen says. Papaya pills are wonderful if you get an easily upset stomach. Gustafsson pills are something that is relatively easy for everyone to tolerate, and they will assist you if you start to have respiratory or nasal congestion of any sort. That it's something that actually lessens the thickness of it. So that is a big deal. Okay. Like I said, when I started seeing these videos of people that were beating the daylights out of one another at Costco, and one of them was one that a Marvel girl actually showed on her Twitter account, where there was a woman who was being beaten by looked like maybe she was 25 years old, in order to grab toilet paper, the last pack, out of this old woman's hands, which was probably somewhere in her 80s. Do better. That's my message. Do better. We are not a group of animals, and we have to work together in any emergency, as we do as a group of watchdogs. And those of you that subscribe to us are part of those part of the watchdogs. Because if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't get half the information we do. Each one of us only has 2 eyes. You guys are part of the watchdogs. You guys are what makes up the group. It is unfortunate that this message is even having to be made. But let's try to remind everyone that life is not over. We are going through a difficult time, but we will get through it like we always have. And let's not make life hard on one another, because we are what we have to rely on. That is it. Us. And what's sad is the kids, the children, the pets, they only have us. Let me just make mention again, even though it's on my communities page. Your animals, your cats, your dogs, your horses, your birds, they recognize when you're upset. They recognize when people are acting different. They hear what's going on. They can feel what's happening. Take extra time to love and kiss and hug and reassure them. Same thing with your children, because your children, sometimes we forget, they recognize, they know when you're under stress. They know when you're acting weird. They know when you get home from the store and couldn't find a bag of flour and you're pissed. They know something's not right. And immediately the first thing that happens is they get scared. So let's not forget that we have those that are watching us. And for those people that are our neighbors and we thought we once knew that are acting like scavengers, let's remind them too. Hey, you get freaked out? Lean on me. Lean on your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, whoever it takes, but stop acting like a vulture. It's not helping anyone. Okay, now I'm done with my speech and everything. And so, anybody got anything good to say? Anybody got any questions, suggestions? Let's see. Most families these days don't know what a bag of flour is. They buy the pre-made snacks. Yeah, I don't. I make my own bread. I make my own cookies. I make my dog's treats. But I do understand that a lot of people do not have the time or the inclination to do that. So, yeah, it can be hard. And maybe that's one of the things that you can do when you're at home, if you have to stay home, is maybe, mom can teach their kids how to actually do those things and take the time. Schools are closed in Michigan for 3 weeks. Yeah, that's a lot of places. I understand that is the case in a good majority of the states right now, actually. Yes, Degen is a wonderful supportive individual, let me tell you. And I very recently have had to lean on Degen myself. So I can say that with experience. Let's see. 2 month supply of seizure for my dog. He can't be without it. Yes. And I'll tell you this too. When I was calling about my thyroid medication, I was out. I needed a refill, and I got a 90-day supply called in where I didn't even have to go into the doctors because they are trying to keep the doors open for people who may need testing or whatever, instead of having you just come in on your regular routine stuff. So everybody can take advantage of that, I think, at this point across the entire nation, that in the event you need a refill on your prescriptions, chances are they're going to refill it through your pharmacy for you. Upstate New York schools have been closed for 5 weeks. Yeah. If you have elderly neighbors, let's see, I'm going to put this one up. If you have elderly neighbors, please help them if you can. They depend on us. Yes, our children our elderly and our pets are seriously relying on us to be a rock for them. And if you are really going crazy in your own head, there is absolutely nothing better to take you out of that craziness than to start giving to others. Trust me, I know that's how this channel got started. Okay. Let's see. Ian says, the Generation Nation, I do help mine. I open gate and tell them to run like. See, I got a bunch of I've got a bunch of comedians on this channel, which is great because that gives us a little bit of room to breathe here. There we go. I'll put that up for you. Okay. Just try to help others if you can. Yep, that's a great one, Goober. Yeah, DGen, I know. And helping the homeless is extremely important because there are so many across the nation right now. I would suggest that, because I know that the shelters are going to be something that are actually going to be trying to provide additional for anyone who is in need of help. I would say, find a one of the shelters that's in your area that is a reputable one, that actually is a 501c3 and has a good standing. You can check at the Secretary of State for your state on the charities that have good standings that are homeless shelters, and provide for them there, rather than getting in a situation where you may come too close to someone who could be out there infected, because we just don't know. So be cautious about that. You can also do that online in a bunch of different places. Red Cross is one, but you might want to go more local than that. I think I probably would. Okay, here we are. Yes, Miss Funny Feet, I know. There are very few shelters out there that actually will accept pets, and I think that is an absolute shame. And if I had the money, that is one of the things that I would invest in, is finding a homeless shelter or funding a homeless shelter that accepts pets. Most people, I know I wouldn't, will not leave their pet somewhere or let their pet go. I wouldn't do it. So it's very sad. Okay, I gave my mail person a big box of gloves. What a great idea. Yes, Raven, that is true. The homeless are the most vulnerable in all of this, especially given the most have no shelters to go to, right, which is my concern. It's not going to help the homeless for you to get sick. So be cautious. If the homeless shelters have more income through you helping, then they can provide more. Or if they have more supplies through you helping, then they can provide more. And that's a safer way of handling it. I hate to say it like that, because under normal circumstances, I would feel the opposite probably. But in this case, everybody needs to stay safe. Senior meals are still being served through our church, have to pass them through the door, not allowed inside the church. Yes, I know, it does feel nutso. This is part of the reason why people are acting the way they're acting, is because this does feel nuts. This feels crazy. This feels really scary. And so we feel very out of control. And when you feel out of control, the first thing you try to do is find something you can control. So panic buying is something you can control. But when you're fearful like that and you're reaching out for something that you're trying to find a way to get your footing and get control of again, that's when you are actually the most dangerous, because you're not thinking clearly. We need to slow down, breathe, and think responsibly and clearly. Okay, DGen says, and especially food banks need help if you can donate any kind of food or donations. That's absolutely right. Promote calm. Yep. Use proper hygiene. Don't fall into a panic stampede. Be reasonable in your preparations. The supply infrastructure is strained but not broken. That's true. The shelves will be restocked. They're absolutely being restocked every night. Here's what's running. What I'm seeing is the problem with people panic buying is they're getting there waiting for the doors to open, and then stuff is being sold out within the first couple of hours. That's the issue. So hopefully, if we can get people thinking more rationally, then that can stop. You know, you go in, you need a couple of packs of toilet paper to get through 30 days. Cool. Leave some for grandma down the street too, okay? I mean, that's just, let's see. Check with your local fire department. They know who needs help in your community. That's an awesome idea, Jim. That is an awesome idea. I hadn't thought of that. Okay, Jennifer says they're doing lunch at the schools here, like a drive-through. Yeah. You will be okay if you do not have 400 bottles of Purell. That's 100% right. And you guys, don't forget, just because you don't have Purell or even dollar store hand sanitizer, we have other options. We have other options. One of the other options is the barbicide that I mentioned. Not very many people have thought about that. So you can buy it all over the internet still. You can go down to Sally's and they've got 2,500 bottles of it. We need to think a little bit more along the lines of what can we do instead of? Okay, so we don't have baby wipes. That's one of the things that's sold out at my local Walmart. We don't have baby wipes. Well, if you've got 2 drops of glycerin and some water and a package of paper towels, now you have baby wipes, because that's all that's in baby wipes. All right. I mean, logically thinking, okay, well, how did they make the baby wipes? Well, that's how they made them. So now you know how to do them. Just stick a bunch of paper towels into a plastic seal up bag, put a couple of drops of glycerin, which is not sold out at the stores right now, and some actual water, and you're done. You've got baby wipes. So we just need to think a little bit differently is all. Did you just say you ate dirt? Where did I see that? I know I saw that. Here we go. I ate dirt as a kid and drank from the hose. I did too. Well, I don't know how much dirt I ate, but I know I ate hay. I ate a lot of hay. When I was little, my father was a veterinarian. When I was little, we had a whole slew of horses, and I wanted to know why it was that the horses got to eat hay, but I didn't. Because, see, the hay always smelled really good to me, alfalfa. But I figured it out pretty quick that hay isn't real good for your system as a human. Let's see. Lynn says, I wonder if stores will close. Well, let's just use an example of what's going on in Italy right now. So the last report that I got with regards to stores is there are several that have closed because nobody's shopping in them. But in every neighborhood, there are a few that are there that are easily accessible. And what I understand is that in the event that that were to happen, there would be delivery of food, probably from either the FEMA folks or other organizations like Red Cross and stuff like that, that you would be able to call up and get assistance. Now, as far as things like the mall, yeah, they probably will, some of them, because wherever there's a large amount of individuals that have issues, a hot spot, so to speak, there isn't going to be anybody shopping in them mainly. So, but that's my understanding, because I had the same question, Lynn. Thanks for your question. That's a good one there. Yes, that now this, okay, best comment of the day Cool Nala gets. Keep calm and don't go Sovtard. Sovtard would do something like what you're seeing happening with these 23 and 24-year-olds running in to Walmart and grabbing every bottle of Purell that they can, and then turning around and putting them on eBay and selling them for $70 a container. Disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. I can't even believe that humans can be that cruel. Whatever. Okay, so Meals for Wheels. I don't know what's going on with them, but might want to give them a shout out because they just lost federal funding last year, and they may actually be doing Meals for Wheels, and if so, they're going to need help because they lost part of their federal funding when several things were cut. Can't close grocery stores. I'm doomed. You're not doomed. And they're not going to shut all the grocery stores, I'm sure. There aren't even grocery stores that are closed in areas that are considered hotspots at this point. And so I wouldn't worry too much. Okay. Remember, even through this crisis, you do not have the right to... You must have a driver's license if you drive. This is not time to mess with the cops about right to travel bullshit. Very funny. Okay, yes, no, it is illegal. What they're doing is completely illegal. I believe it's called something arbitrage. What is it called? Shopping arbitrage or something like that. Amazon is kicking people off the platform like crazy for doing it, where they're hoarding for the purpose of reselling at a really ridiculous rate. So far, though, I'm still seeing it on eBay a lot, and I've been looking for it. It's pretty disgusting. Okay. You're in Los Angeles and the stores are still open. Yeah, in almost every place the stores are still open. What's closing are in the hot spots. There are things like mall stores and stuff like that are closing some. I think I saw that there was a couple of restaurants that had decided that they were going to start closing in New York, but I mean everything's pretty much still open. Okay, for us, Meals on Wheels is part of our senior meal program. Yeah, that's cool. And that's great. And I think that's a good thing to donate to, as Degen said. And I know they need the extra help right now because of the federal funding issue from last year. eBay is much slower at cracking down on this sort of thing. Absolutely. They definitely are. Okay. Degen says, I saw one on eBay, $31K for a package of toilet. That had to be a joke. What was it? An 18-wheeler full of it? Oh, and people bid on it. Huh? Wow, something else. Walmart in line will deliver free on orders over $35. Almost all groceries except perishables are available. I'm using it for elderly, great uncle, and parents. That's a great idea there, Teresa. The only problem that I see with that is that some smaller cities don't actually offer the delivery option. They still offer pickup in a lot of places, but they've kind of slowed that down a little bit in some of the smaller cities. But the large cities, this is an excellent idea that Teresa has here. Technically, if you have running water, you won't need toilet paper. Okay, so this was one of my questions. Number one, you guys, we're dealing with a respiratory illness, right? It's not like stomach flu. So, number one, I know where the whole toilet paper thing came from. I know that it was a condition that came from watching other people in other countries do a run on paper products because they didn't think that ships were going to be delivering paper products. And everybody, the monkey see, monkey do thing came out in this country, and all of a sudden decided that they needed to hoard toilet paper too. Okay. But there's really no logic to that at all. Especially since if it was anything that affected you from the stomach standpoint, you're already in the freaking bathroom with a shower and a tub. So what in the hell do you need to run on toilet paper? I don't get it, but whatever. Okay. I saw the mask that I gave away going for $40 for, yeah, and it's terrible. If you go look at just go look for surgical masks on eBay, and you will not believe the prices that you see. It's unbelievable. DJen, he's going to trade toilet paper for a nationality card. Oh my goodness. Yeah, toilet paper sales after this will be in the toilet. You're right. Yeah, the run-on stuff that everybody's got is going to be, worth next to nothing by the time it's all over with. Let's see. I just cleared out my cabinets for the food pantry. I do it occasionally. All of the stuff is still current, just stuff I didn't want or use, plus some extra I buy just for that purpose. That's awesome, Peter. And if we all did that on a regular basis, a lot less food would spoil, which is just disgusting to me that we've got starving people on the streets in this country and we just let stuff sit and go bad. We started a temporary delivery service for those over 60. Oh gosh, that is so nice. See, this is why I love my subscribers. I love the people that support the Watchdog group. You guys are the ones who keep it to where we can actually research and put the stuff out there, and then you guys take it and run with it and do such wonderful things on the outside for us. And then on top of that, you're just awesome people just in your general, normal, everyday world, you're just awesome people. I hear stuff like what Jefferson's talking about here all the time that you guys do. And I just think it's wonderful that we have you as subscribers. Say thank you, DJen, because they really deserve to hear thank you from us for being such wonderful people and supporting us with what we do. Okay. Hey, Sock, how you doing? Let's see what we got here. I'm made of cloth and cover the hand. Do I have to paint you a picture? I can't even comment on that. That is cute. There we go. DJen says, our hats off to you all. And I mean it. You guys are wonderful. And without you, we would not be able to or would not need to. I mean, there would be no reason whatsoever for us to continue if the good people of the world did not support us. And I mean, support us just by being there to listen to our videos and share our videos and comment on our videos. I'm not talking about financial support, but you all do all of that too. You're just an awesome group of people, and I am so proud to be a part of it. And I kind of like DJen and Van, and they're all right. I like them. Chuck, he's all right. No, I'm just kidding. I love every single one of the people in the Watchdog group. Just an awesome group of people all the way around. Okay, let's see. What have I missed? Jennifer, yes. This community is incredible. And you're right, it is growing in leaps and bounds. And I just think that's awesome too. Cool Knowledge says, I haven't seen so much panic from people, meaning the people in stores, since the fake Moors reacted to your last video. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for bringing the comedy here because this is a difficult stream for me. I don't like to give worse news than what I do on a regular basis with what we're watching across social media. And but I had to say something with what I'm watching. It's all over. It's all over social media, all over the news. It's everywhere. And then live in person. You want to see a brawl? Don't bother paying the tickets. Just take your rear end down to Walmart. It's insane. Hello, that Ava. How you doing? Please do me a favor when you get a chance, that Ava, and just watch this on the when it goes up so you can rewatch it, and share this information. It's really important that this actually goes out to people. I really would appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Miss Funny Feet says, all of you make my day easier. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Miss Funny Feet. You are somebody who has a really high rating on my channel for all of the hearts that I give you for all of your comments on a regular basis. Miss Funny Feet's always there to make my day better. Funny part is, after this is over, many are going to attempt to return all the toilet paper they bought. Boy, are they going to be disappointed. That's hilarious. Okay, let's see. That Ava says Canada is starting to implement more measures by what you need for a couple of weeks. Stay at home as much as possible. I'll rewatch for sure. Thank you so much. Mr. Swindle, if I'm around, I'd like to join you. If I'm around, I'd like to join you. Okay. Where is Mr. Swindle? Is he in here? Chuck's a cuddly koala. Don't let him know. Oh, okay. I won't let him know. We won't tell him. Shh. Joe says, bad news, DN has been... And I had to click on that comment, didn't I, Joe? Oh my goodness. Who's saying that? Is that Devon that's making that statement? Degeneration Nation has VD about as much as Virgo is a man, which is his other claim. Hilarious. Okay. Where is Swindle? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hi. Oh, here, look it. He says, hi, I am here. Virgo's going blind. I couldn't see you. Hello, Mr. Swindle Hoodwinked. Thank you for showing up to my stream. Okay. And Leonard says the Mac will lean all TP by next week. Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Yes, true. Well, let's hope it has a surety bond. All right, you guys. This has been a lot of fun here at the end. I hope you guys are able to share this with friends and family on your social media. It's really so important that they, number one, know where the illness actually, how it actually functions, that all of the stuff that's going on out there with the crazy conspiracy claims is just a bunch of BS and unfounded nonsense. And then also, just so that they're aware that not to panic, to try to stay calm, these sorts of things, along with the instructions that both the Red Cross and the CDC is giving out to keep them safe. If you have more information that you would like to add in for other people to see, please add it in the comments section about 5 minutes after I end this broadcast, so that way people that you're sharing it with or that others are sharing it with can see it. Anything else that you guys want to say before I close out here? I don't want to make this much longer because I actually need people to watch, at least up to the point where we get through the instruction end of it. Sunny, I thought she was already on the rails. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and Close the cray cray. Yes. I'm gonna click on this and let everybody read this. This is the closing comment. Cool Nala's got it together with the comments today. She's got the award for best comments today. All right, everybody. I would like for you to please share. Like I said, I want everybody to have a good rest of their weekend. I love you all. And the chat will remain up for another 3 minutes after I close out. Thank you, Goober. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Teresa, Joe, Degen, Mr. Swindle, Jackson, Cool Nala, everybody that I'm forgetting right now. Thank you so much for joining and sharing this out. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.